Trophy Challenge Cup. Everyone wants to win.
Crazy gang of beating the Culture Club.
Gerrard! Oh, yes!
The story of the FA Cup continues. What a goal! Back with the scorer. Steely
This is the moment of joy that all professional footballers hope for.
A moment of treasure.
For the first time, Crystal Palace are winners.
Welcome to Macclesfield FC, a club reborn. This is the story so far.
Macclesfield Town Football Club has been wound up after failing to pay debts of more than £500,000.
Following the collapse of Macclesfield Town in 2020, local businessman Rob Smethurst bought what was left and alongside Robbie Savage restarted in the 9th tier of English football.
The ground was in such a shocking state.
The ambition is to take us all the way back up to the Football League.
It's been a journey. Last season, a record-breaking campaign sealed a third promotion in 4 years.
Macclesfield FC are promoted.
A step up into the National League North, and now a run to the FA Cup third round.
For the first time in their history, since the club was reborn, they're into the third round of the FA Cup.
However, less than a month ago, the club was rocked by the death of 21-year-old forward Ethan McLeod in a car accident. He will be in everyone's thoughts today on the biggest of occasions, a home tie against the FA Cup holders, Crystal Palace. Former player John Rooney took over as manager from Robbie Savage in the summer, and he'll be looking to write a new page in Macclesfield FC's short history.
And we are live from the Moss Rose this afternoon for Macclesfield FC of the 6th tier against the holders of the competition, Crystal Palace. And no 6th tier side has ever knocked out top flight opposition in the FA Cup. I'm delighted to say that with us today, Glenn Murray, former Crystal Palace striker, the Macclesfield FC manager, John Rooney, joins us on what, by coincidence, is also a bring a family member to work day, and therefore his brother is with us as well. You must be relieved that you are about to actually play this.
Yeah, you know, it's been since the draw, I think it's been 4 or 5 weeks, and you know, we've had our eye on this since the draw come out, and you know, today's finally here and one we're looking forward to.
Within the squad, how much of a boost to your league campaign is knowing that this was around the corner?
It was a boost, but obviously we had a bit of tragic news in between that, so you know, that cut right through us a little bit when we had good momentum, but we got back on winning track on Tuesday with a great performance, so hopefully we can replicate that today.
I can't imagine how difficult it must have been for everybody connected with the club after Ethan McLeod's death in a car accident. How tough personally have you found that? Because nothing can prepare you for dealing with that.
No, it was. I got the phone call in the morning when we got back. I hadn't long been back because we got delayed in traffic. Obviously, through that, then we found out in the morning. I had to ring each player individually and tell them what had happened to not just the teammate but the friend as well. You know, it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, and you know, hopefully never have to get put in this situation again. But Ethan was a special boy with a lot of talent who was going in the right direction, and he sadly missed. I'm sure he'll be here looking over us today.
And there are photos of him around the place. There's a banner, isn't there, between the two dugouts as well?
Yeah, you know, he'd be on our journey with us, wherever our journey may take us. Ethan will be a part of that with us.
John, just moving on to today, and obviously the club's just been restructured in the last few years. How special is this for the fans today, welcoming the holders in the FA Cup?
Yeah, since the club reformed, you know, we've done well in the leagues, pushing back up the football pyramid, but we've never really had that FA Cup run. And it's one thing we spoke about in the summer when I did take over, is can we give the fans something this year and go on an FA Cup run? And for us to get to the third round and get drawn against the holders, you can see what it means to them today.
It's such an exciting game for the whole club. It's been hard keeping the players calm and, you know, keeping them the feet on the ground and getting them ready.
do you know what, we've just been after, because we've had the game Tuesday, so I think that helped. So we've only really had one session since that game, and listen, it was more about just keeping the feet on the ground. And listen, all this is new to them, so we was here Thursday and a lot of pressure was around, so it's new for them, but I think they've took everything in the stride, and so it's more just, listen, I've said to them in there, go and enjoy it. You know, we'll have a structure of how we want to play, but go and enjoy it. You know, it's a shot to nothing today. You're expected to lose, but our lads in there think different. So, but firstly, go and enjoy it and see what today brings.
Can you enjoy it as well?
Yeah, I've enjoyed every minute since I've took over. Listen, I've had a lot of things that I've had to deal with, but I've enjoyed every minute of it. You know, and today I've enjoyed everything that goes along with it. I'm learning, you know, it's been a lot of pressure on something I've never had to do. And, you know, I think it'll bring me on leaps and bounds in my managerial career.
He's getting a lot of chants from the crowd here if you're a not very good John Rooney. I've paraphrased slightly, but it's quite. Has he ever had that before?
I think he would have had more than that, wouldn't he?
Lovely to see you.
Thank
Wish you well. Thank you very much for joining us so close to kick-off. Thank you. Are you proud of him?
Yeah, no, obviously, and I spoke to him obviously after the tragic news here, and I know that was very difficult for him, and I think he's handled it really well. And to get Macclesfield to the third round of the FA Cup, his first managerial job, you know, the whole family's proud of him, so we hope that he can get a good result today.
I mean, that's also the thing with the situation that they found themselves in because of Ethan's death. It's his first managerial job as well, and nothing can prepare you for that.
No, nothing can prepare him for that, and I think he's handled the situation very well. He said how hard it's been for him having to call the players, and yeah, it's almost a crash course, isn't it? But today is a bit of light at the end of the tunnel and an opportunity to take on the holders and to get the fans on board.
Let's just put into context for you the difference in places between the two teams today. If we look at the structure of the football pyramid, Macclesfield are in the National League North, and that means they are 117 places currently behind Crystal Palace of the Premier League, who are also the holders, and their manager Oliver Glasner is with Sarah Mulkerrins.
There's a strong spine through that team. Does that indicate the danger, you know, that a fixture like this can bring?
Yes, there are a few reasons. You know, our squad, the players, with many injured players, it's not really huge, and then players wanted to play, and we spoke about it, and it's just JP Mateta, he stayed at home because he's struggling with his knee for a few weeks now, and AstroTurf, and the weather just makes no sense with the upcoming schedule, and all the others were fine, and then that's why we mixed a little bit. We did this already a few times, also in the Conference League games, players did well, and so this is what we expect today. Said to the players, show why we are the title holders, show why we are a Premier League side, and show your quality. We take it seriously, and then I think it's clear that we are here to win the game, of course.
Very much clear that they are here to win the game. They have gone with a strong side today. But as far as Macclesfield are concerned, Wayne, like a lot of sides at this level, they are reliant on good loan prospects from local clubs. They've got James Edmondson on loan from Blackburn. This is what he did in the previous round against Slough.
Yeah, it's some goal. I was obviously watching this game, hoping to get through for my brother. And this goal is one of the best goals you're ever going to see. It's incredible. The dip on it. It's, you know, it looks like it's going over. And
this angle is incredible. I love this angle. This replay. Look at that.
That's one of the best goals you're ever going to see.
Well, it's absolutely perfect, isn't it? I mean, it's actual, like, in the postage stamp of the top corner. But this is a brilliant opportunity for him. Obviously, he's come to this level and he's doing really well. And there's strong links between him and Wharton, centre midfielder, the way he plays, the way he's gone out on loan. And obviously, he'll be looking at Wharton on the other side today, starting with Crystal Palace as a pathway of where he can get to.
Absolutely, because Wharton, look, did very well at Blackburn, has thrived even more at Crystal Palace, is in the England side as well. He starts today. Palace have gone strong.
Yeah, I don't think he had any other option but to go strong, to be honest, chappers. Obviously, current holders, we've already mentioned the kind of the gap between the two clubs. The last thing you want to be known for is going out in the biggest gap ever as holders. So he's come here, he's put a strong squad out, and also he's only got a very small squad as well, and he hasn't got many options, so yeah, he's had to go strong.
But these games are so difficult. And, you know, I've played obviously at Manchester United against the lower league teams, and the games are so tough. You know, the whole stadium, the whole city is up for the game, and if you don't put a strong team out and you're not prepared and you haven't got the right mentality or concentration, then it can bite you.
Why do you, when you played in them, why did they feel so tough then? Because you'll have played in front of bigger crowds, obviously, and maybe more intimidating atmospheres, but why did you find it so tough?
I think it's complacency, and you know, and whether you always think you're never going to be complacent when you go into a game, but you do. You think you're a better team. There's no way this group of players could beat you, but you get a bit complacent. You know, the crowd get up, it becomes a fight, and it becomes anyone's game. Do
you get to a stage where, I don't know, if it's 0-0 after 20 minutes or 25 minutes, you start thinking, blimey, we ought to be doing that. But do you know?
Well, do you know what, chappers? I've seen it from both sides coming up. So I was this lower league team welcoming Premier League opposition, and it is the best afternoon you're ever going to have, and you look forward to it for weeks and weeks. But then I've also been on the other side of it, of being in the Premier League, and it's a nightmare afternoon because you know it's a potential banana skin, don't you? And there's no way you can really win. You win, and that's good. And if you lose, then you're front page news.
And Macclesfield will have to do this very quickly, Wayne, without Danny Elliott, their top scorer. There was a doubt anyhow about whether he would play, but he's been injured in the warm-up, so he's not even on the bench.
Yeah, no, well, listen, he's the best player for them. He's the goal scorer, and he's going to be a loss, but, you know, it's an opportunity for someone else to come in and try and help them win the game.
Teams are out. They're coming out into the afternoon sunshine, which is at the other end of the ground, so it's freezing where we're standing. Let's join our commentary team for this. The holders away to Macclesfield FC in the National League North. Here is Stephen Warnock and Guy Mowbray.
Thank you, Mark, and good afternoon, everyone, on this glorious day in the short but ever-progressing history of the all-new Macclesfield FC. And it is a potentially slippery start to their defence of the FA Cup for Palace. Of all the facts that fly around previewing every game of football, there's one that stood out with a really nice symmetry. The last time a non-league side knocked out the holders was 1909, when Wolves fell at the hands of Crystal Palace themselves, who were then of the Southern League. Palace will be in their all-gold change strip today. Macclesfield in their home blue and white, and it is a glorious day in the Cheshire countryside. The Macclesfield side, well, Max Sternley is in goal behind a back four marshalled by two strong centre-backs in Sam Heathcote and Rollin Menezes. James Edmondson on loan from Blackburn is the talented midfield anchor, whilst Paul Dawson is the leader of the team. And with main striker Danny Elliott not fit and ruled out of being a sub, having tried in the warm-up, former Manchester United junior Damani Mellor again has that main striker's role. Walter Benitez is in goal for the sixth time for Palace. Dean Henderson on the bench. Mark Gahey stays in the captain. Chris Richards returns from a foot injury. In midfield, it's only 21-year-old Caden Rodney's fourth first-team game, whilst Croatia's Borna Sosa comes in on the left. And with Jean-Philippe Mateta given a break, Nigerian striker Christansus Uche leads the attack. 2 Palace goals so far. Both came last month in the UEFA Conference League. In all, 6 changes from Wednesday's goalless draw with Aston Villa. It's cold, yes, but it's beautifully sunny. It's a perfect day for football, and the pitch is perfect, being an artificial 4G surface. The snow's been cleared. There was still a little bit lying around this morning. Is an upset in the air, Stephen Warnock?
Well, quite possibly. When you're talking about the pitch, yes, it's beautiful, but it's a 4G pitch. It's a little bit different to what the Premier League players are used to playing on. It is a little bit different in the way that you move, the way that you can chop and change direction. That'll be tough for the players. There's a horrible chill within the air as well. And Wayne spoke about it there in the pre-game build-up, complacency. If these Crystal Palace players are complacent, they can find themselves having a very difficult afternoon.
16-year-old Joel Drakes-Thomas won't have an ounce of complacency in him. This is his 4th senior game for Oliver Glasner's Eagles. One of the beauties of a pitch like this is its durability and the fact that everybody can get involved. I've spent the last hour pre-match watching an under-9s training session. Absolutely wonderful, and some talented kids on show as well. Can't do that on the pitch that's about to be played on by Premier League superstars very often. So Macclesfield will get the game started, and they will be attacking the bulk of their own supporters in the first half of the game. 14th in National League North, taking on 13th in the Premier League, the current FA Cup holders. And the honour of the first kick of the game will eventually go to James Edmondson, after referee Tim Robinson has got rid of one of the warm-up cones that was still left lying around. Brilliant atmosphere, super day for it. Let Macclesfield against Palace begin. And you can expect the home team, fueled by adrenaline, to absolutely tear into this from the off. Paul Dawson will not be worried by taking a knock very early on. He's used to taking them and giving them quite a bit. That was quite a nasty clash of heads.
I think that's the opener to the game that Macclesfield fans wanted to see straight away. The physicality, the clash, go and win that header, at least compete for it. You can see straight away there, Cambo's in a little bit of pain. Welcome to the FA Cup.
They'll have to do all the necessary checks to make sure it's okay to continue. It looks as though there's a little bit of a cut there. Paul Dawson shrugged it off quickly. Talked a lot about James Edmondson's second round goal at Slough, which was a beauty. Well, Dawson scored a wonderful strike of his own against Radcliffe on Tuesday night. Dawson again trying to skip through the challenges, but it will go behind for a Crystal Palace goal kick, and a thunderous roar from the Macclesfield fans behind the goal. Paul Dawson, incidentally, will have to leave the field, at least temporarily, with blood trickling from a cut of his own. Don't think anybody's quite spotted that yet.
I think he just has now, hasn't he? Yeah, lovely little trickery there from Dawson trying to get through. He felt like there was a little nick off the defender as he went through, but there wasn't. But it's a really positive start from Macclesfield. I know it's only a couple of minutes on the clock, but that's what you've got to do. You've got to try and get the crowd right behind you as early as you can.
I don't think referee Robinson has seen that either. Otherwise he would be taking matters into his hands. Dawson has now gone across to the touchline, and JD Canbo is back with us on the field. Richards. Mark Gahey. I was going to ask you about him earlier, Stephen. Are you surprised to see him start this game, especially with Jean-Philippe Mateta, who's got a problem with his knee, admittedly, being left out almost entirely due to this surface?
Yeah, well, I think the one thing we know about Mark Gahey is he wants to play football games, and I think any opportunity that he gets, he thinks, well, why do I want to miss this? I think he's the leader, the captain. You come into away games like this on difficult circumstances and you think, well, you want your leader on the pitch, and I think he understands that responsibility and takes it on both shoulders.
And incidentally, competition rules have changed as we look at Pino trying to play Uche in, but it's tidied up by Heathcote and cleared by goalkeeper Durnley. I'll tell you about that change in a moment, because Borna Sosa might be able to do something for Palace here. Gahey. Turned back by Wharton to Richards. Yeah, if Gahey does move, as is anticipated might be the case in this January transfer window, to another Premier League team, he would not be cup-tied. The rules have changed and you can now play for two clubs in the same season.
It takes that speculation away, doesn't it? Is he leaving? Is he not leaving if he doesn't make the team? A lot of people might have read into it today that, well, he's not going anywhere. It's definitely not the case. I think he will be up to potentially leaving the football club. I don't think he'll leave in the January transfer window. I think it'll be more the summer, if I'm being completely honest.
Well, Glasner certainly doesn't want him to leave, and Palace fans don't want their manager to leave either. There's still speculation on that score. Talks are due to take place over the next month or so in the words of the Eagles boss himself.
Brilliant manager, really successful since he's come into the football club. He's hugely improved the team, and you don't want to lose a player of Gahey's quality, but you don't want to lose the manager as well.
Burnley's clearance didn't get to the halfway line. It's Rodney who won it for Palace. Up towards Drake's Thomas, but now Uche takes possession and was put under pressure, but the referee felt fair pressure from Heathcote. Mellor. A bit of trickery tried by left-back Lewis Lacey, who now takes the throw-in and finds Menehese. Lacey is the older brother of Manchester United prospect Shea Lacey, who has been on the bench for the last couple of their games.
I know his brother Paddy as well.
You are very well connected. There's an FA Cup throwback. You don't see that in the Premier League often, do you?
No, you don't at all.
Goalkeeper with a cap on. And it's needed. The sun is low and it's shining right into the face of Macclesfield keeper Max Sternley. Chris Richards to throw.
He's not going to get much of a run up on that far side, is he?
Just the one step. Decent looking throw that is headed out and then further cleared. Wharton tries to keep Palace on the offensive. And a barrier is formed by Dawson, and it goes behind, and it will be a Macclesfield goal kick. John Rooney in his first season in charge, which came about unexpectedly after the rather sudden departure of Robbie Savage to Forest Green Rovers, where incidentally a level up. He's doing a very good job indeed. But John Rooney has immediately announced his retirement from playing, rolled his sleeves up, got on with it, and Macclesfield, with a couple of games in hand, are only 3 points off the playoffs as they chase for unlikely back-to-back promotion. But you never know, there's still plenty of games to play.
Oh, yeah, he'll have to believe, and rightly so, but I love the attitude as well. He knew that this was a good football club to get that opportunity to be a manager. He's grasped it. Got his team into the third round of the FA Cup. Got them in a decent league position.
Here's Drake's Thomas, 16-year-old on the right-hand side for Palace. Not 17 until early June. And he's won his team a throw-in.
He's a player that's definitely technically good. He's a youngster. On the one side he might struggle with a little bit today is the physicality of the game. The actual technical side of the game I'm sure he'll be absolutely sound with, but that other side of the game is where you need to grow as a player and understand the physicality of the game.
Dawson now needs treatment to his leg, having been patched up on his head earlier. Now more head work first. Still dribbling.
I just wonder whether he's been quite cute here, sitting down, saying it's my ankle, but then it's the head injury, making sure that he's getting patched up properly.
No sign of a bandage, but I think it might be needed. Justin Devaney was in shot momentarily there, who's still making his way with Palace. He's started 4 times in the Premier League this season. Northern Ireland international. John Rooney took this opportunity to have a word or two with his players. There's Rob Smethurst, the owner of Macclesfield FC, who was leading this club to ever greater heights season upon season with Robbie Savage in partnership, until he announced he was stepping down from the day-to-day running of the club in early October. He's left it to others now, but he's still the man with the purse strings, the man in charge. John Rooney having a word with Francis Jeffers and his other coaching staff. Finally, the proper job's been done on Captain Dawson.
Yeah, well, what you don't want is a repeat of that throughout the first half, where he continuously keeps on going down or has to leave the field to get the blood wiped and repaired.
Those who watch Macclesfield regularly tell me he would be the last to leave the field. Unless ordered to. which has happened this season. Richards' throw. Uche went up, didn't get anything on it, and Dearnley will be able to claim.
It was Mark Gahey who actually got the flick on, who was beyond Uche. You can just see that as Chris Richards is taking that long throw, he's losing a couple of yards, he's losing a little bit of distance because he can't quite get that run up. They just might have to adapt themselves a little bit there, Crystal Palace.
Richards across. Menezes happy to let it bounce. It's not the... well, I suppose it wasn't a bad ball, actually. No danger.
I just thought he could have headed it. I was thinking, why haven't you headed it? You put your keeper in a little bit of an uncomfortable situation there.
In goes Rodney. That was a good tackle. Got the better of Edmondson. Drake's Thomas now. Devaney. Devaney's chip. He was looking for Uche. Sosa was behind him, hoping to benefit. Gahey. Sosa. Kay. Cleared by Fensom. Now Sosa. Not the only player in the Palace side today who we might be watching in the summer at the World Cup if he can get back into the Croatia squad. Might be seeing him against England. And Dearnley gathers that next Palace ball into his area. And that was right into his area.
Yeah, it's just a couple of times down that right-hand side that Devaney's found a half a yard trying to whip that ball in. The first one was a lovely ball, and Caden Rodney had made a run from midfield, almost got on the end of it. That time you're looking for Uche to get across the goalkeeper, make it a little bit more of a problem for him. And just going to stop that supply down the right-hand side if they can, Macclesfield.
11 minutes in, and so far so good for Palace. On their way to winning the Cup last season. In the third round, Palace beat Stockport County, not far away from here, although that one was at Sellers Park. And by now they were a goal up. The only goal of the game scored by the now Arsenal player Eberechi Eze, the man who ultimately won the Cup final. Duffy. Turned back to Heathcote, now Fensom. Edmondson shows for it. Heathcote bypasses him, wanting to see the running skills of Josh Kay, who went shoulder to shoulder with Gahey, who barely flinched.
They're going up against the wrong player. Gahey, strong, quick, physically happy to go shoulder to shoulder, read that situation well, but it's a good run from Kay in that midfield area. You have to break the lines at some point, and you have to get runners beyond Mellor.
Josh Kay is back from a ban, having been sent off for the second time this season in the recent game at Bedford. Macclesfield were very keen for their game on Tuesday night to be played in really testing conditions. Make sure he got his ban out of the way. There's Pino trying to get through, but he couldn't get past the significant frame of Rollin Menezes, and he couldn't get the angle to squeeze it anywhere near the goal.
Well, that's most worrying moment for Macclesfield so far. Lovely play. Ball in by Sosa there into Uche. Good touch, and as he gets out of his feet there, Pino, I think he should do better. He should either be dragging it onto his left foot and getting that shot across the goalkeeper, and actually opening himself up even more to bend it into that far corner.
There is somebody who we almost certainly will see at the World Cup playing for Spain. Richards. Knocked down by Wharton. That's a late challenge. That was Devaney on Dawson. Macclesfield free kick.
Just a little bit of a lazy header here from Adam Wharton into the path of Devaney. He feels like he has to go for it. He's all action, isn't he? Dawson, the captain. He's got his team a free kick in a really good position now.
Head bandaged or not, if he can get anywhere near the chance of heading this, he'll do it. Edmondson with the delivery. Flat one. Well, it evades everybody, goes straight behind. Maybe not what Macclesfield were planning, but somebody could have raced onto that.
It's a brilliant ball, but I don't think it was what they were set up to do. I think they wanted it flighted a little bit higher. You can see the centre-back at the back of the picture, Heathcote, just saying that's not what we worked on. It was a brilliant ball in with pace, and he wanted someone to get on the end of it.
Well, I think when you've got Heathcote and Menezes here, you do want it more aerial, especially with Palace's propensity to concede from set pieces. It's been a regular feature for them in the Premier League in recent weeks. Won by Dawson. Kept by Dawson. And he's got it again. Mellor into the box. Kay's getting there. Duffy is there. And so was Sosa for Palace. Shoot is the cry. And the shot from Lacey was nice and comfortable for Benitez.
He's lifted the crowd, hasn't he, Dawson, with the tackles, the headers, the physicality, a little bit of quick feet on that far side there. Lovely ball into the box as well. Is it too early to go for man of the match?
Yes. You've done that with under 15 minutes on the clock. I'll remind you of that with 5 to go when I ask you and you try and evade it. Here's Gahey. Collected by Wharton. Drakes Thomas unable to play it out to Devaney. That's Canvo. Here's Wharton again. Drakes Thomas offside. Free kick for Macclesfield. Have to keep resisting the temptation to say Macclesfield Town. Different club now. They ceased to exist just under a decade ago. This is very much Macclesfield FC. The club that has been built almost from scratch, that now has over 60 staff, 38 teams, 800 kids in the academy, an international programme. Wonderful bar, not that we've visited yet, but it looks nice.
Yet.
They've got the lot here. Club going places from nothing, literally from not existing. Gahey. Sosa. Rodney. There's Canvo. Gahey. Pino had just tried to spin away from Fensom. Gahey didn't feel it was on. Pino now comes wide.
The distances are good from the Macclesfield players, from defence to midfield, from midfield to attack. They're just sitting in a deep block, Macclesfield, understanding that if they go chasing this Crystal Palace team, they'll just pass the way through them, so you have to be compact and tight. They've done that well so far. There we go, they pinched it again.
It was won by Edmondson. Mellor couldn't find him with a return pass and maybe just held on a bit too long. Here's Drakes Thomas. Gahey. Over the top. And the flag goes up against Pino, which probably feels like an opportune time to remind viewers that there is no VAR. And there won't be in the FA Cup, as last season, until the 5th round of the competition. Old style offside, Stephen.
Great,
flags up means it's offside.
Absolutely perfect, and we don't have to wait for too long for that flag to go up as well.
I think that gives us an indication of the different sort of settings that Premier League clubs will face when they play in the FA Cup. Oliver Glasner almost feels as if he's right in there in the thick of the action.
I'm sure he's loving it. I'm sure he's absolutely loving the fact that the FA Cup, with such history, you come to special grounds like these and lower league teams.
Won by Rodney. Here's Sosa. Devaney can't get that. Palace will be able to keep the squeeze on though. I guess it's a throw-in for Macclesfield, deep inside their own half. More than, or as much as anything else, Palace could do with a win just to boost confidence. They've got 8 games since their last one. There are mitigating circumstances. A short squad that's been hit by injury and obviously playing game after game with the Conference League to contend with as well. I say contend with, they want to be in it. They wanted to be in the Europa League, but that's another story.
Yeah, they'll also want to defend this competition and defend it well. And that's testing his squad. It really is, but he likes a small squad. I know he's asked for a couple more players, hasn't he? Why he's lost Ismail Assar to the Africa Cup of Nations as well, so he definitely needs reinforcements.
One in so far, Brennan Johnson, who's a substitute here. Been linked with a right back from Belgium. Genks Zakaria El Houadi is a reported target. Richards will leave that one to Walter Benitez. Here's Gehi. Rodney. Sosa. Pino. Rodney. Pino. Uche loses out to Menezes. Gehi. Rodney's ball in. It was Drake Thomas who was trying to flick it. Don't think he made contact, and Durnley gratefully pounces on the ball.
Yeah, he didn't need to get much of a flick, did he? But it's a lovely ball in from Rodney into the youngster, Drake Thomas. His eyes will have lit up. He'll have thought, what an opportunity this is. Great run off Lacey. He just takes his eyes off it. Doesn't get the connection that he needs, but that's the best that Palace have created so far.
Really big opportunity for them. The possession statistics are unexpected. 70-30 Palace. Macclesfield will not be concerned by that one little bit.
No, they won't at all, and it's taken Crystal Palace until the 20th minute to really create anything of note. It's a good sign for John Rooney and his team.
Gehi. Wharton. That's a great ball. Devaney. Drake Thomas available. Devaney's looking further into the penalty area where Menezes was ready to head away. Gehi looks for Devaney this time. That one's headed by Lacey. Devaney's cross. And Durnley catches. Uche comes in to challenge. No problem there.
Yeah, good goalkeeping. Take the pressure off your defence. What we've seen in the last couple of minutes is that centre-halves of Crystal Palace are just trying to push the back line of Macclesfield back. A couple of balls over the top. Make sure that they're seeing that ball, and then it'll allow a little bit more space in midfield.
Duffy looked as though he was shaping up something extra ambitious. Fensom's cross looked at first as though it might drift away from Walter Benitez, but he was watching it all the way. There's Pino. Pino wrestled off it by Dawson. And Dawson will not be pulled off it by Rodney. I think you might have a case with that player of the match shout early.
I'll remind you that closer to the time.
That's not a good clearance by Durnley, but Pino's header has, unluckily for him, gone straight to a stranded offside Uche. Lacey just trying to do a little too much in a tight spot, but it is going to be a Macclesfield throw-in.
Yeah, he's just having a word there, Lacey. Feels like he's being put under a little bit of pressure by his centre-half. The pass out to him. Two players closing him down. What are the options? Didn't really give him much help.
And the Macclesfield captain, for those who haven't watched him play before, has come as described. He really does want to do everything for his team. Fensom, not quite accurate enough with the ball to Duffy. Here's Uche. Devaney. Back with Benitez. Mellor will try and make it tricky for him. Gay. Benitez coolly across to Richards. Devaney to Drake Thomas. He turns, trying to get away from Buckley Ricketts. Devaney. And it is a Palace throw.
He's done well early on in this game, hasn't he? Drake's Thomas, 16 years of age. Yeah, first start and that opportunity to showcase what you can do. He's a little bit nervous, I'm sure.
How high is that drone? Goodness me. Somebody get on the phone to Manchester Airport, that could be a problem. Richards to take the throw. Back down to earth. Drake's Thomas battles through, he skied it. Rodney still interested, battling away with Kay. Devaney, oh, the touch didn't work, but nor did the attempt to burst past him from Damani Mellor. Unorthodox.
Yeah, I'm not sure he knew who was around him there, Devaney, and Mellor just put on the afterburners and tried to get a little bit closer to him, put him under pressure, almost.
Richards. Wharton. As we're past the halfway stage of the first half, I think one thing we can underline and rubber stamp is that there is no complacency from Crystal Palace. They're in a game, but they've come prepared for one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the biggest thing is when you come to a smaller club, a smaller pitch, a tighter pitch, then you've got to move the ball as quick as possible. And this surface will actually suit Crystal Palace to be able to pass it quickly.
Just a reminder to you that final score today will keep you across all of the goals as they go in. That's on BBC iPlayer from 2:30 and then on BBC One from 4. And then later today, Spurs against Villa live on BBC One and on BBC iPlayer from 5 p.m. Third round highlights. Tonight we'll round you up everything at 10:40 as an attempt goes wide from Duffy. And all the results, highlights and goals will be right across the BBC, on the website, on the app, on the radio, on BBC Sounds, the works, through the weekend.
It's just a couple of moments, Adam Wharton, that's the complacency. And Duffy, his eyes lit up, just couldn't bring it down quick enough to get that shot away. The chest control was a little bit too high.
So much FA Cup football and plenty of other football happening today. This third round weekend, for me, Stephen, it's like Christmas Day happening all over again. It's one of the best of the year.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? And everyone loves this competition. A lot of people are saying it's lost its magic. It certainly hasn't for me, though.
Hasn't for anybody in Macclesfield today. Wharton. Nodded clear by Heathcote. Uche. Duffy for Macclesfield. He's asked a lot of Kay. Gahey will stay in front of him. And then be caught by him and get the free kick for Crystal Palace. Always favourite, the England man.
Yeah, he was, because he's the way he runs towards the ball, but he's quick, Kay. He can cover the ground. Gahey's smart in the way he defends as well. He's a superb player.
Here's Richards. Sosa. Pino. Uche. Uche's shot, not far away, and it flew towards goal like a rocket.
Well, there's your warning sign from Macclesfield's point of view. That's what Uche can bring. He's got good in tight situations, and as he shifts the ball here, people don't think there's much of a danger, but when he lets fly there, I don't think the keeper, Dearnley, realises how close that is. That is quite brilliant strike. It's just not dipping quick enough.
I can't believe the power that was generated from nothing.
Zero backlift, wasn't there? It's just the technique.
And now he's after the ball again. And he's got the better of Heathcote and tumbles into the area as the ball rolls behind. It's going to be a goal kick. Uche, I think, has hurt himself in the landing.
It's just a little bit of a miscommunication between Heathcote and Dearnley here. one of them has to deal with it. Heathcote looks a little bit awkward there as he's trying to deal with it. I think he's worried about the goalkeeper's position. He gives Uche a little bit of a shove, but not enough for a penalty, not enough for a free kick if it was outside the box.
Well, Cristantos Uche is in the game. Player who's on loan from Getafe of Spain. I think there is an obligation for Palace to buy him. He's scored on his only 2 starts so far. They were both in the Conference League at Shelburne and against Koops of Finland. He's come the closest of anybody here.
I think there's bags of potential with him, isn't there? I think with a manager like Oliver Glasner, he's the type of person, coach, that can improve him.
Macclesfield's turn to maybe threaten. Palace keeping them out of their penalty area. It's a high line. Again, a little too flat, I think. Buckley Ricketts will pick up the pieces. Lacey. That's not going to go anywhere near anybody in blue.
Well, that was the ball that was needed off the first free kick. The dink to the back post, that area. I think when Edmondson's whipping that free kick in, I think you can do it from a more central area, but so wide, you've got to get height on the ball. Miss that front man.
Past the half hour. John Rooney will be pretty happy with his team's work so far.
He'll be more than happy. He'll be absolutely delighted because his team have looked relatively comfortable.
Duffy. Oh, sorry, Stephen. Duffy there. I thought he was about to pinch it from Mark Gahey, the impudence.
I was more confident in Mark Gahey.
Durnley affords himself a touch. Mellor does well there, getting up above Wharton. Wharton much better on the deck. Devaney having to scrap for it. In comes Drakes Thomas. Dawson loses out to Wharton, but it broke for Lacey. Richards then sorts out Mellor, and there are little battles developing all over the place here. Palace get the call eventually.
Well, if you wondered if Crystal Palace are up for this game, they are. They competed, winning the duels against Macclesfield. Macclesfield are trying to be physical, but they're not having any of it, Crystal Palace. Saying we're just as physical as you are, we're technically better than you, we'll break you down. It might take a little bit of time, but it will happen.
Heathcote. Edmondson trying to find Kay. Wharton had anticipated that. Drakes Thomas. Wharton. He's going to beat Sosa and bounce behind towards the Palace fans. A word for them. 12:15 kickoff. That would have been one heck of an early start.
Yeah, brilliant from Crystal Palace fans. They are magnificent fans, but Adam Wharton, his radar's ever so slightly off at the moment with his passing, isn't it? So comfortable on the ball, dictates play from that middle of the park. Not quite happening for him yet.
Burnley's clearance goes straight to Devaney. There's Lacey. Richards. Uche. Kay was about to scamper clear, but the free kick's given for the Dawson challenge on Uche. Gahey. Sosa. Richards. Gahey back to Chris Richards. He's missed the last 4 games with a foot injury. Drakes Thomas. Gahey. Pino. Rodney. It's won by Fensom, but missed by Kay. Fensom in again. Mellor, and now Duffy. A little bit of room for Macclesfield. Duffy with the early ball, trying to catch Gahey out. Richards was covering behind him nicely. put the brakes on well, Mark Gay. He looked as though he was going to run well past the ball.
I think it was Campbell who was on the cover. I think it was he was the one who was covering Chris Richards, who actually made the intervention. But that was better from Macclesfield. They get that break in play in midfield. They're tenacious, they win it, and then it's a quick ball down the right-hand side to get in behind. And Gahey had made that overlapping run down this left-hand side.
I think Luke Duffy quickly assessed that he had nothing other to do than play it early. Offside, Devaney, free kick for Macclesfield.
That's what Macclesfield have done well. They've held that line extremely well. Been caught offside 2 or 3 times now, Crystal Palace. And this was the opportunity. There's Gahey caught upfield, and then that spot in this area on the left-hand side. Tries to pick out the forward. It's a difficult ball, but you see Chris Richards there in Cambo just sorting it out eventually.
Glasner getting serious. A little shake of the head from the Palace boss. First time it's looked like Macclesfield from open play might open his team up. Mellor goes up, but he's easily beaten by Canvo, and it's cleared by Gahey. Uche. Heathcote turns it round. Dawson was leaving it. Edmondson heard his call and keeps the ball really neatly. Dawson. Fensom. And that's blocked by Sosa. Job done.
Yeah, good block by Sosa, because that was a dangerous situation. Fensom, I think he made the right decision there, trying to play that early ball. It's good signs in the last few minutes for Macclesfield. A little bit of belief coming back into the players.
Wharton. Gahey. Gahey. Devaney was on his way again down the right. Picked out by Gahey. That's been the ball that Palace have been looking for most this half.
It's pushed Buckley Ricketts back into almost a left-back position. They've had to defend really narrow.
Sosa. He's found some width on the Palace left. Stopped by Heathcote. Duffy. Gahey down to Rodney. Here's Jeremy Pino. Pino's chip. And Durnley can watch it bounce and calmly take the ball into his possession again. And I don't know who that's gestured towards. I think he's telling everybody to get upfield. I thought he was wagging his finger in disgust for a moment.
Calmness again from Dawson. Where his goalkeeper was, the awareness of what was around him. Soft cushion header into him. Just take that pressure away from the attack.
Richards. It's Fensom's header. Sosa. Edmondson. Dawson. He's being chased by Drakes Thomas. Dawson tries to bundle through. Drakes Thomas did enough for Crystal Palace. Buckley Ricketts. Does well. Lacey.
Oh, it was on as well.
It was the right idea, wasn't it? Dawson on the left edge waiting for it. Really well picked off by Palace.
Yeah, he had a lovely amount of space on the edge of the box, but so well read by Adam Wharton. His interception rate must be phenomenal. His reading of play, Adam Wharton, is absolutely incredible.
Gahey. Sosa looking for Uche, who nods it down towards Pino, and the flag goes up as Pino lets fly, and it's saved anyway by Durnley, but it was never going to count.
It's another offside. It's that line from Macclesfield. Trying to play that longer ball into the forward player, but Pino is far too early with his run. I don't think he thinks that Uche is going to actually win the first header, but you've got to anticipate it. You've got to hold that run.
Pino started the majority of Palace games this season. Kristantas Uche hasn't, so a bit to work on in terms of their communication between one another. Uche's playing his part. Shot of the match so far, certainly. Won by Drakes Thomas. Wharton. Kay turns. Dawson down the line for Kay. Kay's ball across is turned only a little further away by Richards. Pino. Heathcote. Sosa. Lacey has to go back to Durnley, and even though the pitch is as true as they get, the bounce wasn't kind for him.
I just think Lacey just needs to spin that down the line there. Going back to your goalkeeper, such a difficult ball for him to deal with.
Kay to Dawson. Dawson to Fensom. Kay wants it. Fensom delivers it to him. And Josh Kay's able to turn and shoot somewhere in the direction of the goal. He's frustrated with himself. Knows he's got better in him.
Yeah, well, the build-up's lovely. Dawson out to this near side and Fensom. And this is a lovely turn from Kay. He just sends Rodney the wrong way. Finish doesn't quite match the turn, but again, it's positive play from Macclesfield. You just get that sense in and around the stand here. They're enjoying what they're seeing, the fans.
John Rooney's words are being heeded by his players. He was saying yesterday, just wanted his players to go and play with freedom, express themselves. After all, it could be the last time they get to do this. Play in the third round against top-flight opposition.
And the holders.
Richards, a little too high for Rodney. Kay. Rodney's challenge is deemed unfair. It's going to be a free kick for Macclesfield.
He's just come into the game just in the last few minutes, hasn't he, Kay? He's dangerous, he's quick, he's direct in the way that he plays. Draws the foul here from Rodney. Does well with his feet to get across.
Luke Duffy and James Edmondson are in the company of referee Tim Robinson. Duffy, who would be the right-footed option here, is going to take the free kick. Once had a trial with Palace and at Brentford, where he trained with the likes of Brian Mbumo and Ollie Watkins. Before he does put this one in, there's some more running repairs needed for Paul Dawson. It's a particular look, isn't it? Now Duffy puts it in, and that doesn't look a bad ball. It's a great ball! It's a wonderful goal! Captain Dawson hits the Silkman in front. Palace undone by a set piece again. That was perfect for the non-league team. Just perfect.
Well, they've had a couple of opportunities from set pieces, and the quality hasn't quite been there from Edmondson. So this time, it's Luke Duffy to spin it in with his right foot. And this time, he's not looking to hit that near post. He's just looking to hang it up and give his opportunity to the big players at the back post. It's absolutely brilliant. As he stands over this opportunity, you see here, the captain Dawson, he's getting sorted out. He's trying to get his headgear right, but this ball is absolutely delightful. Gets in between the centre-backs, and the header is even better. The precision, the accuracy. It's a moment Macclesfield fans will never forget. They've gone 1-0 up against the holders of the competition.
Paul Dawson scores for his third FA Cup game in a row. He missed the last round through suspension. He's just carried Macclesfield one step closer to the next round of the competition. Rob Smethurst, almost in tears. Now Sosa as Palace look to hit back instantly, but the cross is too close to Durnley, who gathers again. A little bit of a nervy moment alongside Rolin Menayese. Would it surprise you, Stephen, if I tell you that Paul Dawson was one of the players who was down here in the week helping to clear the pitch so the game against Radcliffe could be on?
I'm not shocked. I can say that straight away. But what a performance, and you do need leadership on the pitch. You need someone to set a standard, and he's been that player straight away. From the get-go, he wanted it, didn't he?
Right from the start of the game. First move of the game resulted in him getting a cut head. Oh, he's lit the place up now. Player signed from Bamber Bridge 2.5 years ago. We're into added time. There'll be at least 3 minutes more of this mayhem before the interval.
There's been a little bit of a situation there where the Macclesfield players would have felt a little bit tired, the different levels of physicality, but those legs will have got a little bit lighter all of a sudden, a little bit of a lift from the crowd, a little bit now of something to hang on to.
And what is it about set pieces and Crystal Palace right now, Stephen?
Well, lack of leadership, lack of players picking people up, a will to want to go and head the ball, to get on the end of it. And he showed exactly that desire to get on the end of it. But you've got to want to do it the other way. You've got to want to keep a clean sheet as well.
I think the numbers are, as that's played through towards Drakes Thomas, but we'll only find goalkeeper Durnley again. 9 of Palace's last dozen goals they've conceded in the Premier League have come from set pieces, and in effect 5 of their last 6 Premier League defeats have been because of that.
Yeah, no, the small margins, aren't they, that can change a football game. And you look at it and you think Macclesfield hadn't really caused them any problems. It felt like it might come from a set piece. Now that was the vulnerability. When you look at the replay again and you see when John Rooney celebrates, it's almost like he turns around to his staff and says, that's what we worked on. It worked up, it paid off.
And Benitez was made to hurry there, and it is Crystal Palace who are rocking a bit as we approach half-time. Fensom, Duffy. The return from Kay didn't work out. Pino for Palace. Kay is after him. And that's going to be a throw-in. No, it's going to be a free kick. Tim Robinson, the ref, not happy with the angle of the challenge from Josh Kay. He's going to card him here. Kay's used to that. He will dispute it, though.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed because he does so well to get back into position. The work rate, the energy. I think that's harsh. I really do. I think he wins the ball. Whether Tim Robinson thinks that he kicks through the player to get the ball, I don't think that was a yellow card. I don't actually think it was a foul.
Palace free kick. Macclesfield 1, Crystal Palace 0. National League North 1, Premier League 0.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's nothing against Crystal Palace, it's just the FA Cup and the magic it brings.
And well done, Stephen. First mention of the magic of the Cup for those playing FA Cup third round bingo. Take that one off.
I've said it twice.
Oh, have you? My card's ruined then. Gahey. Rodney. What a noise to greet the half-time whistle from just over 5,000 inside the old Moss Rose, the leasing.com stadium as it is now. Paul Dawson has led by example, not just from the start, all week and ever since he came to this football club. And he's just given them their most famous moment yet since they reformed as Macclesfield FC. Unbelievably, they have the edge at half-time against the cup holders. We are in position, with a long way to go admittedly, for the biggest shock this competition has ever seen. Let's get down to Sarah Mulkerrins, who's down on the touchline with Macclesfield's Danny Elliott.
Thank you, Guy. Yes, Danny Elliott alongside me. And you cannot stop smiling, Danny. What a first half performance, and also that huge goal from Paul Dawson.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, it's the stuff you dream of, innit? I mean, I'm devastated to not be on a pitch.
You tried, didn't you?
I tried my best, yeah. You know, I was doing it in the warm-up. I felt it in the warm-up, but I'm just delighted for the boys, you know. Dawes deserves it more than anyone, you know. What a guy. I mean, it's a great header. I think we're playing really, really well as well. You know, it's brilliant to see the boys not scared, you know. They're playing as we would usually, you know, playing with no fear and getting on the ball. I think Sam and Rolling at the back have been unbelievable, and we've limited them to chances, you know. They've not necessarily dominated too much, so it's just so exciting to watch, and I'm so proud of all the boys, honestly.
Yeah, such composure, particularly in defence. Some of those balls coming in from the wing. Uche, probably the closest, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Sam will be pleased with his performance. You know, I think the boys have stood up to the test really, really well. You know, I've no doubt they're going to probably make a few subs and come again in the second half, but I mean, it's the stuff of dreams, isn't it? That's all I can say. I'm so proud of the boys, honestly.
And in terms of what Dawson means to these fans, you could feel it in the ground, couldn't you? In terms of even going in for the crunching tackles that he does, you know, he lifts this place.
I felt like he definitely had his cornflakes this morning. You know, he had a bit of a pep in his step. You know, he's such a good character. He's a great captain. You know, the way he kind of leads the boys. You know, he had a brilliant performance on Tuesday in our league match, and you know, I knew he was going to back it up today. He's been unbelievable. You know, the amount of headers he's won, tackles he's won. He's dominated as much as he can. He's got himself on the score sheet again, so he'll be buzzing.
Excellent stuff. Thank you for your time. Into the dressing room. You're 1-0 up.
Absolutely, can't wait for the second half. Thank you.
Good analysis from Macclesfield's top scorer, who can't feature today through injury. And you would have to say, Wayne and Glenn as well, that they deserve that, don't they?
Yeah, I think they do. I think they've been the better team, and they've tried to play football at the right times, and they've put some good crosses in the box and a great goal. But I think what we spoke about before the game about, you know, a Premier League team coming here and getting complacent, then I think that's what's happened. But Macclesfield have took full advantage of that.
Were you laughing at me because I'd forgot I'd still got my hood up?
I was hoping you were going to leave it up.
It's got nice and warm then. Oh, hang on, I've left my hood up and we're on telly. I mean, Palace haven't really carried that much of a threat, have they? I mean, Macclesfield have kept them at arm's length the majority of time.
I've been impressed by Macclesfield. I think they've kind of sat in their shape. They've pressed at the right times. They've attacked at the right times. They've got their balance perfect. And they've probably been the better team on the afternoon. Oliver Glasner want more for his men, without any doubt.
When you look at Paul Dawson in the middle of Macclesfield's midfield, every non-league club up and down the country has a midfielder like him, and arguably every club higher up the league ought to have a midfielder like him.
Yeah, no, you can see why he's the captain and he's the leader of the team, and you know, his energy, his tackles, his won headers, and helped Macclesfield massively throughout that game. And they've got some young players, Macclesfield, in the team, and you can see he's helping them, he's leading them, and he's exactly what, you know, a lower league player needs to do. But he's given so much energy and belief. He's given belief in his teammates.
Just from a Palace's point of view, 10 of the last 11 goals they've conceded now, including that one, in all competitions, have come from set pieces.
Yeah, it's an issue, and once the media get hold of things like that, you start becoming more aware of it, and then it becomes a bigger issue, something they need to nip in the bud very quickly. But listen, I expect them to make changes. I expect Will Hughes to probably come on to try and dictate play a little bit more and control the possession of the football.
Are you saying it becomes a psychological thing?
Yeah, without doubt, yeah. I've been in dressing rooms before where you keep conceding set pieces and all of a sudden you're just a little bit tenser when you kind of concede, and you don't want to concede in certain areas, and it will be on the players' minds.
From a managerial point of view, do you work harder on it and therefore make it more of an issue, or do you try not to work harder on it to try and take some of the pressure off?
No, I think you have to work on it, but I think ultimately it comes down to wanting to head the ball and wanting to get on the end of crosses and make sure you don't concede goals. And I think for Palace it's an issue, but you have to work on it. You have to make sure, and they've got some young players, Palace, in the team as well, which Macclesfield will be aware of that. So, but I think they have to work on it and keep doing it, and hopefully that helps them.
We've seen the Dawson goal, just his overall play, whatever he's been asked to do, whether it's put the tackle in, be composed, put a good ball in, he's done everything.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first moments of the game, and he was setting a precedent, and he was kind of, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get in amongst you. I'm going to lead this. I'm going to set the pace of this game, and you can see his physicality in the middle of the field here, and the desire he's shown throughout the first 45 minutes, and he's drove what is ultimately a young team on, and I think he's been absolutely outstanding. And obviously, he's capped up with that goal right on the in extra time, but I think he's led his team perfectly.
I think his presence, you can see right from the kick-off his presence on the pitch, and he's come up against the Premier League team, but he's the one player who stood out with that order and that presence on the pitch, so I think he's been fantastic.
As Guy said in commentary, he came down here on Tuesday and helped clear the pitch so they could play Radcliffe on Tuesday night, then scored against Radcliffe, so he's kind of right in the thick of it.
Do you know what, chappers? I've watched him for this 45 minutes, and he just looks like he's enjoying himself.
What did you see what he did? And you laughed at this. He went to take a quick free kick, and your brother went berserk, and he went, no, I'm only joking. So to be relaxed in the middle of an FA Cup game against the Holders says a lot about his character.
His character, his presence, and his overall mentality. You can see, as I said before, you can see why he's the captain, because he's got something about him. You could see that from the very first minute.
Where are Palace at the moment?
Palace played a lot of games. They're tired at the moment, and I think they looked leggy in that first 45 minutes. I'm sure he'll make changes, but he hasn't got a lot on the bench. He's quite light on the bench. Obviously, Brennan Johnson's probably the biggest name going forward. They need a slight spark going forward, without doubt.
I mean, this, Glenn, was kind of their best chance, really, from Uche.
Yeah, and he hasn't really offered too much going forward today, Uche, and it's kind of a chance out of nothing. We see him here, he gets turned, not really where you want your centre forward to be when you're a lone centre forward, but almost finds that far corner. But yeah, for me, he needs to be more of a platform, needs to hold the ball up and get his team up the field.
Are these the kind of games, and actually Sean Dyche said it last night after Forest went out to Wrexham, they have gone strong, they have got some regulars here, they've also got other players who are on the fringes of it, and Dyche said after their defeat at Wrexham last night, don't come knocking on my door if I give you an opportunity and you don't take it. Do you see that with some of these Palace players?
It's actually the players who are playing more regular for Palace who I think have been more disappointed. I think Wharton has been very sloppy. He's given too many balls away, and it's them players who need to help the younger players who've come into the team. So it's the captain Gay, Wharton. I think they've been slow, complacent on the ball, and so I've been disappointed with them more than the players who've come in.
So at the moment, the Holders are behind. They trail Macclesfield of the National League North by a goal to. We are on for the biggest upset in terms of place differential that the FA Cup has ever seen. There are other games going on at the moment. Let's start with Premier League Wolves, who are at home to League Two Shrewsbury, who are just above the drop zone. Johan Strand Larsen, subject to some transfer interest in this January window, put Wolves 1-0 up early on. John Arias, who Rob Edwards has turned into a central midfielder, then made it 2-0. As I say, Shrewsbury just above the drop zone in League Two. They've had a difficult season, but John Marquis from the penalty spot pulled one back for them to make it 2-1. That was the decision to give the penalty. Marquis, the experienced striker, made it 2-1. And Strand Larsen has added a third towards the end of the first half at Molineux, capitalising on that mistake, and the Premier League side lead by 3-1. All Premier League tie at the Hill Dickinson, and you would think an opportunity for both teams to have a real good go at the FA Cup, given how their seasons have been going, and Enzo Lefebvre has put the visitors ahead. Sunderland lead Everton by 1-0. League Two Cheltenham are at home to Championship side Leicester, and Leicester lead by 2-0 at the break. Paxton Daka with the first. And Cheltenham, who have had a bit of a revival under Steve Cotterill in League Two, were then hit with a late goal in that first half. Mavididi with that. And it is Cheltenham 0, Leicester 2 at the break. So that's what's happening today. This is what happened last night. Oxford needed penalties to knock out League Two MK Dons. Their new manager Matt Bloomfield in the stands watching that last night. Port Vale of League One knocked out League Two Fleetwood. Ryan Lowe enjoyed his return to Preston as Wigan of League One beat the Championship side by 1-0. And as we've already mentioned, Nottingham Forest dumped out on penalties. It was a cracking game at the racecourse. Wrexham 3, Nottingham Forest 3. Wrexham go through 4-3 on penalties. FA Cup coverage across the BBC. You can see all the goals and all the latest scores with final score on iPlayer from 2:30. You can also listen to it on 5 Live, all the goals as they go in with Ian Dennis and the team. Then our next live tie, Spurs against Aston Villa, gets underway on BBC One at 5:30. All the highlights from the third round at 10:40 tonight on BBC One, and all of tomorrow's games rounded up 10:30 on BBC One. And if you want to know more about our hosts here, then you can on the iPlayer.
It's been such a long road to get to this point, and then last year was a huge disappointment. Robbie had to step up as the manager.
A lot of people said I had to scratch the itch, but I never ever wanted to be a manager. It's been the best 4 years of my life.
And a prominent character in that documentary, Rob Smethurst, owner of Macclesfield FC. First of all, how are you? How are your nerves?
Oh my God, wow. I've lost my voice already. I've been screaming that much, but just one of the most unbelievable experiences ever. Amazing.
As an owner, do you live and breathe every kick, every throw, every goal, every tackle?
Absolutely. I think what the lads have done out here at the moment has just been absolutely unbelievable. I mean, you know, title holders, Crystal Palace, you know, unbelievable team. You know, this is fairy tale stuff. Even to get through to half time has just been incredible. To think we're 1-0 up, and it's just been amazing.
Is it fairy tale stuff anyhow, given where you are from where you were when you relaunched this club?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I bought it off Rightmove, you know, nearly 5 years ago, and you know we've had 3 promotions, and you know it's been an unbelievable experience. And to play Crystal Palace today is just well, like I said, it's just like dream come true.
Rob, I understand that was once upon a time a drunken decision. Was it the best decision you ever made?
Yeah, do you know what? You know, yeah, after a 3-day bender, you know, maybe buying a football club wasn't too bad after all, was it? You know.
What did you actually put football club into Rightmove? Were you looking for a house?
Do you know the funny thing is I can't remember it. So no, I did, and you know, look at this now. I think for the community and the fan base and bringing a football club back to life, you know, giving the heartbeat back to Macclesfield is just incredible.
It's incredible. Obviously, I'm not too far from here, so I've felt this over the last 5 years, you know, the changes in the club and how the club is growing and progressing, so you must be extremely proud of what's going on.
Oh, Wayne, it's been incredible. You know, the fan base and everyone here, yeah, incredible scenes, and who knows, could we do it? I don't know, but, you know, who knows what dreams are made of, right?
How stressful have you found it compared to how enjoyable you found it?
Look, we're enjoying today. I mean, we weren't expected to win. We're not expected to win, you know, and if we do, then wow, you know, there will be no words, and I might find myself in Ibiza by the end of the evening.
Right, they're about to kick off. We're still stood on the corner of the pitch. You probably need to get back to your seat.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Yeah,
thank you very much for joining us. Let's rejoin Stephen and Guy.
Thank you, Mark. Cutting that one a bit fine. Everybody's out and ready, and Palace have made 3 half-time changes. Brennan Johnson, you've just seen. Will Hughes is coming on as well, and Tyrick Mitchell. Players going off: Joel Drakes-Thomas, Caden Rodney and JD Canvo. So Oliver Glasner's turned to experience. This is much more of a regular Premier League lineup for the second half, Stephen.
Yeah, and I think with Will Hughes coming on in that midfield area alongside Adam Wharton, it brings that little bit more balance, a little bit more experience. Keep the ball, retain it, win those battles in that area.
And now that Mark, Glenn and Wayne have got off the pitch, we can get on with it again. Wayne looks happy, Glenn doesn't right now. Wayne Rooney's brothers' team are 1-0 up. And just to reiterate, there are 117 league places between these teams. The record gap ever overcome in an FA Cup tie is 108. That was Chasetown of the Southern League Midland Division 1 when they beat League 2 Port Vale in a second round replay 18 years ago. On the bench for Macclesfield today, or rather former Macclesfield player Danny Whittaker was in the Vale side that day. It's getting him confused with Danny Whitehead momentarily, who's back here second time around. Macclesfield 1, Crystal Palace 0. Start of the second half, and Palace with work to do to continue their defence of the FA Cup. Fensom over the head of Kay. Gahey down to Wharton, who withstands the challenge of Dawson, and then looks for Johnson. Brennan Johnson straight away involved. Johnson across and turned behind by Rolin Meneati. Palace corner.
And Wharton's done better there than he did in pretty much the whole of the first half. Rides the tackle of Dawson, spins out of it, and then plays a lovely ball into Brennan Johnson. Johnson will stretch that back line of Macclesfield.
Well, maybe this is both a statement of intent and a statement of how the game has been. This is Palace's first corner of the game, second half. Wharton goes deep with it. Richards tries to get onto it, and Durnley catches. Free kick goes to the Macclesfield keeper as well.
I think there was a few worried people around the ground there as Chris Richards jumped at the far post. It looked like he was going to get a free header, but Miller just did enough to get some type of contact on it.
The ball in Max Durnley's hands is an exclusive holders ball. We'll be using one of those in the Women's FA Cup as well, so this is the only tie this round that we'll see it in. Might be, as things stand, the only tie in the entire competition we'll see it in this season. Dawson. Richards holding off Mellor, but having to work hard to do so.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The ball from Dawson, he doesn't want to overhit it, he just wants to put it in an area that makes it very, very uncomfortable for Chris Richards. But how many times do we usually see a striker be too aggressive and the centre-back drops to the ground and gives a free kick away?
Heathcote. Looking for Buckley Ricketts at the back. Sosa had to get something on that. He got enough. Buckley Ricketts to Lacey. That's not a bad ball. Richards ready for it. There's Kay! That's still rising. I'm reminded of Peter Kay, the old advert. Have it.
It's a lovely ball in from Lacey down that left-hand side. Richards deals with it, but as it comes out to the edge of the box, one thing we'd say is Macclesfield have got it ring-fenced. They're organised and ready for that second ball. Just leaning back ever so slightly.
That ball's on its way to leak.
That might have been the last time we saw that ball.
They do have more than one. Wharton can't find Mitchell. And it's going to be a Macclesfield throw-in. And this is where the Macclesfield hearts will start to really, really beat. Test of the players' nerves as well as their abilities now. Can you imagine the adrenaline at the start of the game? Then you get steady away and play your own game as Dawson goes into a challenge. Referee's primed with whistle in his mouth, and now he does blow and gives the free kick to Macclesfield.
Well, he wasn't losing that one, was he, Dawson, as he went into it? Got to be sensible here, Macclesfield. What they're going to have to do is slow the game down as much as they can. See there that Mitchell's just a little bit too eager to go in for that tackle.
Okay, he has words with the referee, or rather the referee words with him. It's easy to read too much into things, but you look into the eyes of the Palace players and you look at the legs of the Macclesfield players. A little bit of worry in those eyes, and with every passing minute there'll be a bit more wobble in those legs. It's a never-ending curiosity how this competition does it every single year and has done from the year dot.
It's that word complacency, isn't it? That ability to lift your game from lower levels, and so often we see it, that adrenaline drives players across the line, gives them that little bit of extra something in the legs.
Macclesfield throw in now. Lewis Fensom is going to take it. Here's Edmondson. Uche. Kay. Buckley Ricketts. That's Richards. That was very nearly ours.
And there's the lack of composure from Crystal Palace. It wasn't even a ball that he had to hit early there, Chris Richards. Just take your time, go back to your goalkeeper, reset. That's the tension, the nerves now that Crystal Palace have got in the system.
Buckley Ricketts playing it across. Kay needed a bit more on it. Palace worked their way away. Uche. Devaney. Uche went to ground as though tripped by Heathcote. Referee right on the scene, didn't see that.
Trouble.
Benitez out to deal with the trouble, but it's missed kick by Hughes. That's Duffy. Gahey was in the way. Dawson again launches himself at a loose ball. Well, if it's going to develop into chaos, Macclesfield will be more than happy. Wharton, Hughes, Edmondson collects, he can play.
Oh, they're absolutely rattled, aren't they, Crystal Palace?
And that's a push from Uche, it's a Macclesfield free kick, another set piece.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant from Macclesfield. Sense when a team's on the ropes a little bit, continue to put it up and under, make life difficult for them. Mistake at the back, and credit to the keeper, Walter Benitez. He was quick off his line. Here's the header from Gahey as he heads it back towards his own goal. He gets it horribly wrong. I think that's the Sun guy. I think he just misjudges it completely.
And he hasn't got a cap on. And I watched him come out for the start of the second half, and I didn't see him bring one with him either. But look at that. You can see how much of a problem it is.
It certainly is, but this is an opportunity now for Edmondson to deliver one of those flat, low balls in.
Oh, he's gone for it. Might not have been the wisest choice, but he'll always back himself, will James Edmondson.
Yeah, confidence is sky high, isn't it, from the players, certainly from him after his magnificent goal in the last round.
Brennan Johnson loses out to Lacey. Nicely taken by Mellor. Lacey looking to switch it. It's over the head of Mitchell. And that's Kay who took it away from teammate Duffy and had another crack. That's two this half.
Now, we were talking about Dawson and his performance, but Kay's been equally as good. He's been absolutely everywhere. Good physicality, good running ability, technically good as well. I just fancied that one as his eyes lit up, didn't he, as it come over his shoulder, and he's thinking, yeah, why not?
Gahey. Lacey. Brennan Johnson wants it to run. Palace throw. Leaving it for Borna Sosa. Devaney. Devaney trying to play it back down the line to Sosa, but it's out for a home throw.
Just need to compose themselves a little bit here at Macclesfield, not get beyond themselves. What they don't want to do is they don't want this game to get stretched. They want to keep it nice and compact, nice and organised.
Talking about composed, they just had a glance across at Oliver Glasner. He was trying to give that signal to his players to calm down.
Oh, absolutely.
That wasn't massively calm from Richards, but the game goes on. Menease will turn it back to Durnley. It's ramped up a notch, hasn't it?
Oh, it certainly has, and more so because of the performance from Crystal Palace. There's a bigger belief around the stadium now that Macclesfield can do the unthinkable.
Gahey. Turned by Wharton. Given away by Gahey. He started to make mistakes.
Yeah, there's just no way to play through, and that's where I'm talking about the organisation, not breaking his shape,
That's
make life difficult.
Sorry, Stephen, it wasn't a great kick by Benitez, but Gay's got him out of it.
Yeah, you often get that on this surface where you don't quite get that clean connection because of the grip from almost like the pellets, the rubber pellets that are grabbing on the ball as well.
You can actually see as the ball's rolling there with Adam Wharton, you think it's a true service, but it doesn't half bobble.
Yeah, it does, and Wharton again with another misplaced pass. So reliable with his passing, usually he's been really poor today.
Richards beaten by Mellor. Mellor couldn't get in front of him again though, and Richards atones for his own half error.
Can I take back what I said in the first half about Palace being up for this?
You can now. Lacey though was lost out to Devaney. There's still time for Palace to turn it round, maybe now. With room down the left-hand side. Pino trying to combine with Mitchell. It's blocked, it'll roll behind, it'll be a Crystal Palace corner.
That's a waste, a real waste from Yeremy Pino, because they were in a 3v3 situation. Macclesfield players are running back towards their own goal. You fancy Yeremy Pino there to just take the player in the box, take him on.
Pino now to take the corner. Uche jostling for position in the middle. Gahey has just arrived, along with Richards. And the whistle goes before the ball lands in the middle. Too much pushing and shoving. Macclesfield get the free kick. Macclesfield have had a bit of a dodgy run of their own recently, losing 2 of their last 3 games, but all told they've only lost 3 of their last 17. They've adjusted to life at a higher level in National League North. And of course they've had to deal with that awful, tragic setback, losing Ethan McLeod, but what a performance they're putting on in his memory.
Absolutely. Really difficult situation for John Rooney to deal with. Talking before the game about how difficult that was to ring every player individually.
That
just
was
heartbreaking,
wonderful, wasn't it, though?
Yeah.
He did deal with it. Deal with it is exactly the right word. And Macclesfield will have to carry on coping with that loss. We do, of course, send our best wishes to all the McLeod family. A lovely banner tribute in between the 2 benches to him today. And here's Devaney. Kay's challenge. Duffy will chase it. Mitchell has the head start though. Gahey goes down at the challenge of Mellor. Macclesfield get on with it with Edmondson. Oh, he likes this position. Didn't quite get that one though.
No, he didn't. It was just a little sighter for him, wasn't it? But the pressure from Mellor, absolutely superb. The pressure now from Dawson to go and close down. Got to say, the combination of Dawson and Kay has been absolutely superb in that midfield area. They've ran over the top of the Crystal Palace.
Just a reminder, if you are watching thinking, well, a cup upset, this is a bit more than that. There are a full 6 divisions of difference between these teams. Or is it 5?
Can't remember. 117 places.
There's a lot.
We'll leave it at that.
Lacey. Dawson down. Free kick for Macclesfield.
And he just knew he was in a position there, Dawson, where he couldn't really do too much, so buys that foul, goes to ground. Again, slow the game down. Take the pace out the game. Crystal Palace want it to be fast.
Oliver Glasner now starting to look a little agitated. An FA Cup winner in his first full season in the English game. The first Austrian coach to win the greatest cup competition in the world. Won his home Nations Cup twice as a player with SV Ried. Buckley Ricketts. There's Mellor who goes down. Richards challenging. Buckley Ricketts comes out of the pot with the ball. Palace just can't get it away. Buckley Ricketts didn't get enough. Oh, he did! Yes, he did! He's touched it past Benitez! And it's 2 for Macclesfield! Now we're really in the realms of FA Cup fantasy. Macclesfield 2, Crystal Palace 0.
And this is a Crystal Palace team that's made changes at half-time. It's brought 3 of the starters in that will play in the Premier League. But what they do so well is they fight, they scrap, they keep the ball alive.
And the face of Ethan McLeod looks on.
Well, this is where they keep the scrap going, they keep it alive. Mellor does well here, getting above Chris Richards. And then Buckley Ricketts keeps trying to get through. He's like a battering ram. He finds himself on that far side, and as this shot comes in, look how he readjusts. He just readjusts, stabs it towards goal. And the goalkeeper, Walter Benitez, is almost wrong-footed. He's going the other way, creeps into that bottom corner, but they come again, Macclesfield. They're on the attack again.
Hughes, Richards. That's Oliver Glasner's reaction. What to do, what to do? Brilliant skill from Lacey.
Oh, a couple of Maradonas, incredible.
Crystal Palace are being overrun by their opponents from the 6th tier.
Well, so often when you think of games like this, you think of Premier League teams' physicality being so much fitter, so much stronger. It's looked completely opposite. Like you say, Guy, Macclesfield have ran over the top of them. They look too strong for Crystal Palace.
Rob Smethurst can't sit. He can't speak. This is what you bought, Rob. Well, it wasn't actually. This is what you built.
Yeah.
You bought something very different.
My word. What an afternoon. He can't quite believe it. They can't believe it.
We want 3 is ringing out from the stand we're in. Never satisfied some people. Edmondson. Missed by Dawson. Comes out to Duffy and it's blocked by Hughes. Lacey. Sosa has to watch it out of the sun. And doesn't do particularly well with it. Dawson down.
Whether it's the sun, whether it's the occasion, whether it's the pressure that they're under, there's an opportunity there for Sosa to bring that ball down. He wasn't under too much pressure.
Kay. That's out for a Palace throw. Sosa will take it. Incidentally, just a few moments ago, Sosa got a yellow card. He's not having the best of days, given quite a rare start. There is still time for Palace to change the whole story. Here's Uche. Uche across the face. He didn't miss by a lot, but he did miss.
You say it can change in an instant. It nearly did. And it's just because Uche gets half a yard and Heathcote doesn't want to go too close to him because he's worried about him skipping beyond him. Gets that shot through his legs. Keeper rooted to his goal line.
There's confirmation of the Sosa caution. Richards. Mellor. It's the word on Damani Mellor. We haven't mentioned him a lot, Stephen. The pattern of the game hasn't allowed us to, but he doesn't normally play that full-on striker's number 9 role, despite his shirt number. I think he's done okay, hasn't he?
I think he's been brilliant, I really do. I think his link-up play in the second half's improved. But what I've been most impressed with is the pressure he's put on defenders. He's not let them have a second.
Don't think Mark Bright and Steve Parish are particularly impressed with anything much that they've seen so far today. There's the difference in ownership demeanour. And this could make a huge difference to his football club as well. Plays across for a bit of a break, because Max Dearnley needs some treatment in the Macclesfield goal.
This is the goal. I mean, the flick, the touch. Walter Benitez going the wrong way, but the way he readjusts and just finds that position to get that ball with the outside of his foot. It's a quite brilliant finish from Buckley Ricketts.
I was going to describe that as a really scruffy goal, and yet one of the most beautiful goals that has ever been scored in this stadium.
Yeah, I just think it's great improvisation. I think it's magnificent skill from Buckley Ricketts to see that if he just gets enough contact on it, it might just cause a problem to the goalkeeper. Did he think it'd really go beyond him? I'm not so sure.
Rob Smethurst, who estimates that £400,000 will have been earned from this tie before prize money. And for the third round winners, there's another 115,000. So that's how well Macclesfield are doing out of this. Final score today for all the rest of the FA Cup action and the rest of the football. BBC iPlayer from 2:30. BBC One from 4. Spurs against Villa. That's coming your way on BBC One and BBC iPlayer from 5. Third round highlights tonight, 10:40 on BBC One. And then all of the results, highlights and goals on the BBC website and app, and you can tune into all them whenever you want.
He won't even care about the money, will he? It'll be all about the history, all about this occasion, remembering this day. It's so important to the football club, and like you say, Guy, it's a new football club. It's been this is its history starting, if you like.
Dearnley a long way from goal, and Lacey did his job for him.
Yeah, he had to do that. He had to take control there, Lacey. Really good defending.
Richards. Sosa. Gahey. Pino trying to get it round the corner for Will Hughes. Dawson. And there's Heathcote. Now Mellor, and look at the blue runners. Kay is charging down the centre. Edmondson waits and plays it behind Duffy, but Dawson's there. Dawson's everywhere. Then loses the ball to Johnson. Uche leaving it for Pino. Uche now tries to time his pass to Johnson. 4 in gold, enter the box. Here's Devaney. Pass one challenge. Devaney has a go, and Heathcote's head in the way of it.
It's the first thing that the captain Dawson's done wrong, makes the wrong decision, allows that counter-attack to happen, but as the shot comes in, Heathcote does really well.
That's not a bad ball. Uche's there for Palace, but the flag is up. It won't count. There's no way back for the FA Cup holders yet.
Just goes a fraction too early, doesn't he? Uche gets beyond that back line, but this is how quickly things can change and how alive they've got to be. Wharton picks that ball up just on the shoulder there. Jeremy Pino, lovely pick out to Uche.
Palace substitution in the aftermath of that last chance. They've got to go for it, so they've put an extra forward on. Justin Devaney has made way for Ben Casey, 17 years old. He's 18 at the start of next month. This is just his second first-team game. Well, Palace need a hero. Why not have a new one? Oh, Gahey has lost it. This is Buckley Ricketts. Buckley Ricketts taking on Richards, doesn't get far, but Richards can't prevent the corner.
They just keep believing, don't they, Macclesfield, that they can get at this back line of Crystal Palace, that they can cause this team problems, and Buckley Ricketts is growing in confidence.
And to ask you a question, Stephen, did you believe driving over this morning I wasn't sure. I thought it was too much of a stretch, this, but goodness me, this really is the definition of a shock.
Yeah, I thought the gap was too big and that Palace had too much quality.
In from Duffy. Benitez says that it's his, and it was.
I think you always believe it could be a close match and it can cause problems, but I mean, this is, dare I say, being quite comfortable for Macclesfield.
So far, that is the case.
Yeah, there's 20 minutes
better.
that can change it, but yeah, they are getting better. That's the big problem, isn't it?
Or maybe more pertinently, Palace aren't. Mellon nearly in. Richards to Gahey. Now Wharton. Casey making a move down the centre. Wharton's not played that. He's found Uche instead. Mitchell across, but it's straight into the gloves of Burnley, and there's been a lot of that.
From Macclesfield's point of view now, they've just got to think to themselves, we don't need a third. We don't need to push too many players forward. And look at the Crystal Palace fans.
Well, they set off at 4 this morning. Goodness me.
When I was walking round to come to the gantry, I walked through the Crystal Palace fans and I heard a few of them talking, saying, this is proper football. I wonder whether they're thinking that now.
Well, any that have been around long enough. Palace have won their last 6 against non-league opposition in the FA Cup when they've faced them. They haven't been dumped out by one since 1963, when they lost 3-1 at Yeovil, and that will have been on the famous slopey pitch. Nothing wrong with this one. Not what Palace are used to maybe, but they train on these surfaces often enough.
There can be no excuses. I mean, we were chatting before the game, Glenn and Wayne, and we were saying that. I'll come back to it.
That was Sosa, and that's Duffy who clears away.
We were just saying that usually you'd want a rubbish pitch, you'd want a leveller, something that can make it difficult for Crystal Palace. Well, they can't complain about this surface. It's absolutely perfect for them.
It's Mitchell. Meneyese. It's not away yet. And that's Wharton. Oh, good save. Thundered towards Burnley's goal. Burnley made sure the ball didn't enter it.
Now, and so often when you think about big games, you need big performances, and Burnley's been relatively quiet throughout this game. When called upon here, he makes a really good stop. Concentration levels, good save.
Brennan Johnson goes across towards the corner taker, but eyes only on the middle here. Towards Gahey and Richards. Mitchell now. He's had a go, and straight at Max Burnley, who has been safe hands throughout.
And I'll be happy about that one. Straight down his throat, very comfortable.
Mitchell. Uche. Uche being held on to. Palace free kick. Richards. Now it's Hughes. Here's Gahey. Wharton. Sosa. Uche to Hughes. Kay just let go at the right time. He's on a yellow card.
Yeah, he's done well in a couple of occasions there, Kay, realising he is on a yellow.
Swung in towards Uche, but behind him, Meneyese heads it away. Maybe signs now that Macclesfield players are just being naturally sucked back towards their own goal.
Yeah, but that's okay as long as they keep their shape, they keep organised. We saw it in the first half where they kept them gaps between the defence and midfield, the midfield and attack, and that's where I was saying before, don't let the game get stretched, just stay as compact as you can.
Gahey's header. Then his clearance to Mitchell. Now it's Wharton. Palace have to dig really, really deep here. Brennan Johnson gives chase. And plays it straight against Lacey. Lacey gives it away though to Sosa, who's immediately dispossessed by Buckley Ricketts. And it stays in.
We were all hoping it went out there, the Macclesfield players. And just see them breathing heavily now. It's about regrouping. If I was John Rooney, I'd be saying to one of the players, just go down, take the sting out the game, give the team a little bit of a breather.
Well, he hasn't made any changes yet, and something that might change, is there going to be a card? There is. That'll be a yellow for Mark Gahey. Mellor again, really sprightly, so quick when he gets the ball.
Yeah.
Look how keen he is to get onto that.
And that's what he's done well all game. He's not let the centre-halves settle on the ball. He's been after them every single time.
Mark Gahey will likely play for England at the World Cup this summer and be caused fewer problems than Macclesfield have given him today.
You're quite right, Guy. It's incredible, isn't it?
Maybe the time now that John Rooney first starts to think about a change. They're getting Carlos dos Santos ready. There's Dawson. Free kick for Palace. And free kick for Mac as it brought further back. Wonder what Big Brother thinks.
Oh, he'd be happy. He'd be absolutely delighted, won't he? Very proud, I'm sure.
Just a reminder, if you've just joined us, Wayne Rooney's younger brother John is the manager of Macclesfield. And he could be about to write his name into FA Cup history. He's not the only Rooney to do well in this competition. Duffy then, with the Macclesfield free kick. 77 minutes on the clock.
It's a similar position that we saw in the first half when they scored the goal, and that guy Dawson scored the header to open the game up and give Macclesfield a 1-0 lead. So we know the vulnerabilities of Crystal Palace in defence.
Don't know how much good that bandage is doing now. It's nearly off. Duffy. Menease goes for it. Sosa with the Palace flick. Lacey. That's a tester. Richards heads out. Heathcote robbed by Casey, then pulled back at his shoulder. Free kick for Palace. And a little bit of hanging onto the ball is going to result in a yellow card, I think, for Lewis Fensom. The referee's got to work out who it was.
He's pointed at Heathcote.
He's given it to Heathcote. I thought it was Lewis Fensom with the number 4 shirt on who kicked the ball away, but Heathcote's got the booking.
Just a little bit over eager there to win the ball back, wasn't he, Heathcote?
3 changes being made by Macclesfield. Luke Duffy going off. Former Palace trialist. May have played a huge part in knocking them out of the FA Cup at their first hurdle today and their first time as holders. Perhaps not a surprise to see Josh Kay make way. He is on a yellow card. Safety first as the approach there. It's Luke Matheson who's come on in the first place, and now he's joined on the field by Cameron Borthwick-Jackson, and there's a story in itself. And off goes Lewis Lacey as well, and on comes Carlos dos Santos. Cameron Borthwick-Jackson only signed on Tuesday. You'll know the name. He used to be at Manchester United. He was on loan at Leeds, amongst others as well. He was due to play in the Baller League in the autumn, but I don't think ever got any minutes indoors. Hasn't had a club since the end of the season before last, I don't think. It's got a new start. And here's Mellor finding Buckley Ricketts. Dos Santos ahead of him. Edmondson on the edge of the box. Wharton wins the ball and lets it roll. Did he know that was going to be a corner? Well, clearly not. It is a corner.
Yeah, he just wouldn't have let that run, would he, Adam Wharton, had he have felt that ricochet off his leg.
Well, isn't that just emblematic of how it's been for Crystal Palace?
Absolutely, and his performance as well. He's such a magnificent player. It's been such a tough afternoon for him.
Buckley Ricketts with the corner. Flat one. Matheson. Wharton. Gahey to Hughes. Now it's Richards. The clock past 80. When that happens, there's an extra psychological impact on and off the field.
Oh, absolutely.
Wharton is missed by Casey. Borthwick Jackson turns it half away. Richards. Through the gap for Sosa. Sosa's got to get this right. A touch on it. Played back across and all the way again. Not for the first time. Sosa. Up went Uche, up went Dawson, and up go the Macclesfield fans.
A water header that was from Dawson. I thought Uche was going to get that header. Out of nowhere, the skipper arrives again. They've just got to gather themselves here, Macclesfield.
Here's Hughes. Now it's Richards. Hughes. Sosa. Menezes stays balanced. Gahey. Pino. It's Mitchell with the chance to cross over everybody. And keep on coming in from both sides now. Hughes. Richards. Urgency is the Crystal Palace key. Pino. Over the top from Uche. And with every one of those that goes missing, the Macclesfield belief rises a whole new level.
Just a lovely ball in here from Jeremy Pino into that area, and it's a difficult skill for Uche. Ball's almost behind him as he's trying to bend his neck back, and he looks so frustrated, doesn't he? Oliver Glasner, so disappointed in his team's performance.
Well, there's a line from him yesterday. It's their match of the decade, but on the other side, it's clear. If we go there, we have to win there. Couldn't have underlined it anymore. 7 minutes of the 90 to go. That's not happening. One of the balls into the crowd has been found, and very unhelpfully, or helpfully, if you're Macclesfield minded, thrown back on to delay things. Sosa. Matheson. It's Heathcote, and that's out for a Palace throw.
Yeah, that's not bad. Just pin them in now if you can. Get yourselves organised. Don't let them out. They're just backing off now, Macclesfield. That press has dropped off. The legs are getting a little bit more tired. And also, as well, there's that feeling of, can we? Are we going to do it?
Richards to Hughes. Mitchell. Jeremy Pino. Richards. Sosa, he beat Buckley Ricketts to it. Richards to Gahey. Up towards Casey. And Casey loses out to Menezes and then grabbed a hold of him. It's going to be a free kick for Macclesfield.
Just so well that Menezes gets his body in between him and Casey. Absolutely brilliant. This is where it all started. Lovely header from the captain, Dawson. A big moment in the game. Quality as it comes into the box, and he wins that header. And this one, it's all about adjusting your feet from Buckley Ricketts. Absolutely sensational finish from him. And puts them 2 up.
Well, they're unlikely to go all the way, but then they were unlikely to get past this stage today. And they've only got just over 5 minutes more, and it's going to happen. It feels like it's going to happen. Just a reminder of the league standings of these teams, as if that matters in an FA Cup tie, but 117 league places the difference. The record gap ever overcome in an FA Cup shock is 108 league places. Chasetown against Port Vale 18 years ago.
I think you have to mention it, Guy. I think you have to understand the magnitude of this performance, the magnitude of this upset. Like you say, it'll be the biggest in history. I mean, it's absolutely incredible what Macclesfield are doing.
88 wins for non-league teams against top-flight opponents, but only 8 in the last century. That's how rare this is. Uche. Up towards Casey. And Casey's offside as he tried to hook it across for Brennan Johnson.
I spoke about that high line that they've played all game, Macclesfield. They've been so brave, making sure that they step up at the right times. When a player's got time on the ball, make sure you step up. Penny for the thoughts of those guys right now.
Well, you know what? Their thoughts seem to have been perfectly level and calm all the way through. There's not been a flicker. For the Macclesfield coaching staff, headed by John Rooney, assisted by Franny Jeffers and Anthony Curran. I don't know how they've done it, but they have treated it as just another game, incredibly.
Yeah, and maybe that's what's took the pressure off the players and allowed them to relax and actually enjoy the occasion, not overthought this game.
Dos Santos. Here's Mitchell. Gahey. Now it's Richards. And it's now or never for Palace. I think we've been leaning towards never for a good few minutes now. Sosa skips past Buckley Ricketts. Has it opened up? He's a long way out. Here's Wharton a bit closer. Burnley stayed back on his line. Dawson's header. And that's going to be a free kick for Palace. Mellor was just beaten to it by Mark Gahey.
It's the first time he's been slow to react there. Mellor just gets caught by Gahey, or catches Gahey, should I say. This is a really dangerous position now. You just feel how quiet it's gone in the crowd. They know that this is a huge moment in the game.
I don't think I'm taking a big leap here by saying this has to go in.
Absolutely it has to. And that's the concern from the Macclesfield fans, because if it does, then it becomes very, very nervy.
Burnley's getting a message to Captain Dawson, the organiser of the wall. He's ditched the bandage now. James Edmondson, 20 years old, yep. Junior party gets that job. Sosa or Johnson. It's going to be Brennan Johnson, and he's done it! He's curled in a beauty. Oh, it's Pino, it's Jeremy Pino who took it, my mistake. Thought it was Johnson lining it up. It's Jeremy Pino who just about, well, it is the only thing he's done all game, really.
Yeah, he had to get it up and over that wall. It's a quite brilliant free kick from Pino. And you just get that sense now around the stadium, that worry that things could possibly turn very quickly. They need to not panic. They need to not panic. They need to relax, the Macclesfield players.
Now all eyes will be on the board. We're about to tick past 90. And 6 minutes are indicated, at least 6 minutes. Crystal Palace have 1 foot on the way back.
Yeah, they need to get Dawson back on quickly. He's off on the far side of the pitch, getting that head strapped up again. So they're down to 10 at the moment here, Macclesfield.
Here's Gay. Macclesfield are down to 10. Dawson left the field to get his bandage reapplied. He's racing back on now. Richards. Hughes. Sosa. And there is Dawson. Richards. You can feel the tension now right around the place.
Yeah, they need to lift the players, the fans, try and get behind them a little bit, but they're so nervous as well.
Richards. Sosa. Dawson loses out to Casey. There's Hughes. It bounced away from Pino. Jeremy Pino's had a lift. Mitchell outside. Mitchell across, and Borthwick-Jackson heads to safety. It's going to go out for a throw-in. Now all of the Macclesfield fans are holding their breaths after all this work. Palace have still got fight in them. Richards to hurl this one. There's another ball on the field at the other end. Another delay that will just add a bit more tension. Richards then to throw it. Headed up by Meneyesi. Hughes gives chase. Edmondson on the run. Mitchell's after him now, and Mitchell will overtake him and play it back to Walter Benitez.
Oh, a bit of a naivety there for Edmondson. Just go to the corner. Just keep hold of it.
Hughes gets away from the tackle of Dos Santos. Meneyesi is there and doesn't take any chances at all.
Yeah, that's
away
better.
It goes.
That's the one you want. Just eat the clock up as much as you can, but Edmondson should have just ran to the corner.
I've got to ask you for your player of the match here, Stephen, but I think you made that decision after 5 minutes.
Yeah, I did. I made it after 5, and he's got the goal as well, the first goal. And it is Paul Dawson. He's been exceptional all the way through this game. Competed extremely well.
Oh, he's been outrun there, though. Tired legs as Gahey tried to take him on. Gahey now holds him off. Uche goes down. The referee says nothing for that. There weren't many Palace appeals.
No, Matheson timed that really well, had to time it well. And it is backs to the wall now for Macclesfield. Survival mode.
Dawson's missed that one. Here's Hughes. Will Hughes trying to get some sort of space. That was Fensom. Then it's Meneyesi, and Buckley Ricketts will just hack a bit. Macclesfield can't get out.
Now anywhere will do at the moment. They just need to get some type of composure on the ball. It's very difficult under these circumstances, though.
Jeremy Pino takes on Matheson and delivers across. That's Wharton back into the mix, and Meneyesi has got rid of another one.
Look at the energy from Mellor here. That's great from Mellor. Take your team up the pitch. Absolutely superb.
He wins a throw and he forced Tyrick Mitchell into that. Not long now.
Well, that was his last run of the game, Guy. What a run it was.
And in common with the rest of his team, he has run and run. Danny Whitehead comes on for the last couple of minutes. Damani Mellor goes off. Whitehead 32 in his 5th spell at this club through its 2 existences, first as Macclesfield Town and now Macclesfield FC. He was a National League winner, got into the Football League with Macclesfield Town. back in 2018, an FA Trophy runner-up the year before that. Now getting his chance to play a part in what could be the greatest FA Cup shock that's ever happened. That's Gahey. There's Casey. Now Johnson. Johnson's ball in. Looks a good one. Matheson's ready for it. This is Walton. And it hits the roof of the stand. And now we are in the 6th minute of added time. The board said 6.
Oh, they think they've done it. The fans think that's enough. They think that this kick could see the whistle. There's a little bit longer to go. It might not quite be off this one, but they're so close, and he's so close.
There are echoes here of the 7th of January 1989. Sutton United 2, Coventry City 1. Coventry had won the cup themselves just a couple of seasons before. There's a difference though. Macclesfield are 1 level lower than Sutton were, and they are playing the current cup holders. It's never been this big, the gap. We said it before the free kick, it has to go in. Well, now Palace have to get something from this throw. It is their last throw of the dice.
He's on the pitch.
Richards, it's a foul throw, the flag is up. Foot raised, 1 foot on the pitch. There are some Macclesfield fans who thought that was the final whistle. They'll have to get off the pitch. Tempted to say they think it's all over, but we're not quite at that level. Rob Smethurst has come down to the front. He wants to get on the pitch. It's his pitch, why not? Cameron Borthwick-Jackson just being told, we'll add all the time on, you're going to have to throw it at some point. Long look at the watch from Tim Robinson. Hurled by Borthwick-Jackson. I think we're on the final countdown here. Up towards Buckley Ricketts, who will give chase. Gahey to Benitez. Looking at the referee as much as where the ball is now. Mitchell. Johnson. Down to Sosa. Headed away from Uche. It's a missed kick, but now Dawson will have the last kick. And how fitting is that? Macclesfield of National League North have knocked out Premier League Crystal Palace, the FA Cup holders. It is the biggest shock that the world's greatest cup competition has ever seen. Paul Dawson, the Macclesfield skipper, is held aloft. Rob Smethurst, the Macclesfield owner, was, I think, the first to get over the hoardings and onto the pitch to join in this scene of joyous celebration. You have to take a moment to think about what you've just witnessed. Only 8 wins for non-league teams against top-flight opponents in the last 100 years before today. The last time a non-league club knocked out the holders, 1909. That non-league club was then Crystal Palace. This time they're the holders, and they've gone beaten by Macclesfield. Stephen Warnock, what have we just seen?
Well, we've just witnessed one of the greatest moments in FA Cup history, and those players are getting lifted aloft, and rightly so. Enjoy the occasion, guys. You fully deserved it. You were the best team on the day. You gave it absolutely everything. You showed quality. You showed resilience at the end of the game. What a day for Macclesfield. What a day for those players. It's absolutely incredible. It really is.
And there are no levellers. There are no conditions or anything you can say was a mitigating factor today. 11 against 11. These Macclesfield players have deserved every minute of it.
Oh, absolutely. To a man, exceptional. You asked me for a man of the match. I mean, there were so many contenders for it. They were outstanding.
the full-time score in a jubilant Macclesfield is Macclesfield 2, Crystal Palace 1.
Mark Gay in discussions with some of the Crystal Palace supporters there. There were plenty of Crystal Palace fans actually behind that goal, applauding Macclesfield and their players at the end there. And there are some intense discussions going on between Mark Gay and the Palace fans. But this is Macclesfield's day. Macclesfield FC, reborn a few years ago of the National League North, 117 places below the FA Cup holders Crystal Palace, and they have knocked them out, managed by your brother Wayne. Forget the football side of things, just give me the personal side of things for you.
Oh, it's incredible. Actually getting emotional to see my younger brother achieve this, and you know, he's not long been in management, and to get through to the fourth round of the FA Cup and beat Crystal Palace Premier League team. So proud of him.
He looked so calm towards the end. I know he wanted the referee to blow his whistle, but at the end he just turned round and did a little fist pump to the bench. He looked calm.
Yeah, he did. I don't know how, but no, it's such an achievement what he's achieved today and what we've done. So absolutely superb.
We've managed to get him. We've managed to get him out of the maelstrom that was there. Congratulations. You have a very, very proud brother stood next to you. He was nearly in tears. How are you?
No, I'm the same. Listen, when we got late on in the game, we're thinking about slowing it down with Shrewsbury. I never thought we'd be in that situation, but you know, I still can't believe it. Can't get my head around it. Lost for words at the minute.
It was fully deserved, though. I mean, that wasn't 2 half chances and you nicking it. You deserved that.
No, I thought we was incredible from the first minute. I thought first half we had a couple of chances, and when we took the lead, so the message at half time was to manage the game. Can we slow the game down? And then we go 2 up. I didn't see that coming, but you know, I thought we were well deserved winners. To be honest, I thought we deserved the win. I think we mollified them to 1 chance in the first half, but I thought we were incredible to a man. I couldn't be any prouder of the lads.
Do you know what, I think when you look back, you'll be even prouder, because like you say, for the first 45 you're outstanding. I thought you got your balance perfect, like when to press, when not to press. I mean, just gives us a feeling of like what the lads are going through now.
Oh no, those are the messages to the lads. Without the ball, can we go 4-5-1? Any little triggers, that's hard trigger to press, any slow passes, but you know, I couldn't ask any more of them. You know, you can see the joy in them out there, and you know, I'm incredibly proud of them.
I thought every player was brilliant, but I thought Dawson was absolutely outstanding and led the team superbly. How would you feel about his performance?
Yeah, Dawson's one of them. You'd have a headache at times with him. You probably see that.
Here's his goal, John, as well.
He's got that in the locker. He's unbelievable in the air. Just before he took it, I turned round to Fran and said, Dawson scored here. That's why we turned round laughing, but he's got that. He scores goals from midfield, also can play centre-half, but I thought he was outstanding today. He put his head in where people's feet are, you know.
He's such a leader. We talk so often about leadership in sport. Sometimes you can, without even knowing someone, you can just see it.
Yeah, he's got that passion, and sometimes we have to rein him in a bit on it, but you know, he was incredible. You know, I thought today, not just him, I thought everyone, and thought Roll at the back was a rock. I thought we were outstanding.
He also looked very relaxed. I have to ask you about, we haven't got the video of it, but in the first half, he went to take a quick free kick and then stopped and said he was only messing with you, and he couldn't stop laughing because you were shouting at him.
That's what he is. He's a class clown, and he's always up to stuff like that, even in training. But you know, I thought he was outstanding. And I don't know whether he got man of the match, but I think he deserved it.
When you went to sleep last night, when your head hit the pillow, did you really believe and think this was possible?
Probably not, but there's always that little bit of hope, and you know, there's that little bit of hope where anything can happen on the day. But did they see it coming? I'll be totally honest, no.
Let's bring Paul in, because Paul's here. Paul, come in. We're trying to all squeeze into about 3 yards here. How are you?
Happy, very happy. Tired, shall we say? Yeah, very tired.
Did you, when they got one back, were you still feeling calm?
Yeah, I was, to be fair. I felt like we kept in our shape really well. I don't think they created much. But yeah, no, I was very calm, to be fair. We kept the gaffer's game plan very well.
He said to us that he said to the bench, when you got the free kick, which we'll show you in the monitor here, he said you'll score here, and you did.
Well, he told me last week I'm a 2 stone overweight and my best foot's my head, so...
Is that the key to man management?
It's worked, hasn't
it? Were you surprised that you went toe-to-toe with them, that they didn't dominate you, that you gave as good as you got?
Yeah, I was, to be fair. I was surprised. But no, like I said before, the gaffer gave us a game plan, and every one of us, from 1 to 19, whatever it was, we all stuck to it well, was all positive, and that's what we needed to be.
You seem to be the leader on field. You just take that upon yourself this afternoon. And do you know what else we all thought? We've talked about you quite a bit today because you're involved a lot, but you just looked like you enjoyed your football this afternoon.
I did, to be fair. I was surprisingly, I was very calm coming into it, very calm on the pitch. Yeah, I'm just can't swear, can I?
Do you know what? I'm
gobbing.
There's a Mac fan who said to me, be careful with him because he can be quite swearing.
I'm just trying to think now, thinking before speaking, in case I'm not swearing.
But like even right from kick-off, you went up, you cut your head, didn't you, with Campbell early on, and you kind of set that precedent early on.
We do that every week, so I do get in quite a few of them head-to-heads every week, but this head's not going to get it's a concrete ball.
Paul, just tell us what Macclesfield means to you. You know, we've spoken today about you were here on Tuesday, you were clearing the pitch before you played Radcliffe and scored against Radcliffe. What Macclesfield means to you as the captain?
No, it means the world, to be honest. I've moved down here last year, so it does. The gaffer rang me on Tuesday, give me a bit of grief because I was on shovel getting the snow off. But that's 2 and 2 now, so must have worked.
Yeah, we had the game Tuesday night, and I get here. Me and Fran get here 1:30 to check the pitch, and I've got my captain who's playing in the night time on the pitch on a tractor in the snow. So I was saying, get yourself home and get some rest.
That's non-league football, though, isn't it, John? They're all the challenges that you get.
Yeah, it is. It is, and I thought he was immense today, and Tuesday as well, with him being on the pitch getting it off, he was immense then.
This may be a very difficult question to answer, but at the end of what has been a very, very difficult few weeks for you and a difficult month for you, your thoughts as well must turn to Ethan this afternoon.
Yeah, of course, and I haven't really mentioned much in the changing room. I didn't want to put that extra pressure on the lads, and I had a nice message off his dad last night, and do I send it to the lads or do I tell them before the game, but I didn't really want to put that little extra bit of pressure on them with everything we've been through, so I thought I'd leave that till after the game. And so it was tough, and his parents are here today, young Ethan, so we need to go and see them as well. But it's been a really tough time, and listen, we've all stuck together through it. And listen, it's never ever going to get easier. We've still got pictures up in the changing rooms that never go. But it's been really tough, but something which I think he'd be looking down today and be proud of us all.
And at the end of it all, Paul, you have captained a side and scored in what is the greatest FA Cup shot ever. When you look at the places between you and Crystal Palace, no side from the 6th tier has knocked out a top flight side. You've knocked out the holders. It is the greatest FA Cup shock ever. Don't swear.
No, it was. No, I won't swear. No, it is. It's immense achievement, to be honest. I'm proud of the boys, proud of everyone, proud of the fans. You can see what it means to all the fans behind us. It's a really community club, and really proud.
Thank you both. Go and do lots of hugs and share some emotional times. Congratulations.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Cheers, John. Thank you for your time as well. Thank you very much. I'll look after that, yeah. Thank you. Let's just take you to the other side of things. The holders are out. Here's Oliver Glasner.
And Oliver, how did that happen?
We've seen congratulations to Macclesfield for winning. Missed any kind of quality today. Haven't seen anybody who could win a dribble. Then conceding another set play goal, losing the header, no timing in the header. We know this, but We have to do better. Second goal was more a slapstick goal. And on the other side, if you can't create clear chances, we didn't have really maybe one or two right at the end, but everything else is just lack of quality what we have shown today, and that's why we lost and we deserve to lose.
You made 3 changes at the break. What were you hoping to try and find in the second half?
Quality.
Across the board from the whole range of players on the team?
Yes, from everyone, but it's also bringing one more attacking player, you know, because it's just honestly, have no explanation for what I have seen today, and it's really now for all of us to, because it's maybe everybody's squeezed out. We can find some excuses on the other side. I think. And I played 19 years on now. It's you don't need a tactics. You know, you don't need in these kind of games. You don't need honestly, you don't need a manager. So I think if you just show what you're capable of and having a little bit of pride, then you perform in a different way. But today we missed everything.
Even when they were 2-0 down, it's not like they bombarded the Macclesfield goal, is it?
No, it wasn't, and as good as Macclesfield was, I thought Crystal Palace was so bad today, and we was talking with Glenn during the game, and in the Premier League where they're playing nice football today, they got a mixture of, you know, Macclesfield were roughing them up and they couldn't deal with it. They absolutely couldn't deal with it, so I think the manager Glasner will be absolutely disappointed, but this is about Macclesfield. I think what they've shown today is spectacular. At
half-time, as we were walking down to the position, you said you were really impressed with how Isaac Buckley-Ricketts had pressed. Then in the second half, he got his reward.
Yeah, do you know what? It was quite a selfless performance for him, but I thought he sat in and he did his defensive responsibility really well. And then this is him getting forward, and probably didn't get as forward as much as he would have liked in the afternoon, but when he did, he made it count ultimately, and he just dangles the leg at this. It's a wonderful finish, just wrong foot to the goalkeeper and wheels away. There's a big question, was he offside? But he wasn't. He timed his run to perfection, and I thought for me he was everything good about Macclesfield today. And obviously Dawson will get the plaudits because he's a bigger character, but him sitting in and kind of being selfless in his play all afternoon, I thought he was excellent.
Clever finish.
Yeah, it's a great finish. I think it's instinctive, and he's obviously, it looks like he's just dangled the leg out, but I think he's meant it. I think he's meant to finish, and I think it's something which he'll look back on a lot, I'm sure.
They were resilient as well, weren't they, when they needed to be? They defended well, they worked hard. You can praise every individual, really.
Yeah, and I think you'd think physically that they'd struggle, especially come towards the end of the game, but they kept going. They pushed in. Palace, as you said, Palace didn't put them under that much pressure, but the shape they were in, they were organised, they were compact, there weren't many gaps in between defenders and midfield, and yeah, it's a performance of a lifetime, I think, from these Macclesfield lads.
Yeah, I mean, the last 20 minutes Palace did turn up when they started asking questions of Macclesfield, but here we see them putting the bodies on the line, working for one another. I mean, it was a real team effort, a real team performance, and when called upon, the goalkeeper turned up. I thought he was quite good in everything that he did. He was nice, clean and tidy. And do you know what? There was just no fault in Macclesfield today, and we can talk about it being the holders and we can talk about being a Premier League team, but ultimately it's all about Macclesfield this afternoon.
You said before the game about Premier League teams, these fans in these games, difficult to fan it hard, and if you come into these games complacent, you get found out, and that's exactly what's happened.
Got Rob Smethurst there, the owner, in the dressing room. Look, we're not here on the BBC to condone 3-day sessions, but probably the best 3-day session that anybody's ever had, to have ended up with the club and do this.
It might equal that in the next 3 days, Chappers.
What an astonishing afternoon here at the Moss Rose. Macclesfield of the National League North have knocked out the FA Cup holders. 117 places between the two of them. 117 years ago, a non-league side last knocked out the FA Cup holders. Sometimes things are just meant to be. Good afternoon.
14th in National League North, taking on the current FA Cup holders. Captain Dawson hits the Silkman in front. Palace just can't get it away. Didn't get it off. Oh, he did. Yes, he did. He's called in a beauty. It is the biggest shock that the world's greatest cup competition has ever seen.